What's up family, what's up Buzz Nation? Thank you for always coming back to watch our videos. Today we are going to talk about Chad because something we don't know what to say amazing or wonderful, because Chad, if there's a country that is a hard nut to crack in Africa, it's Chad. You will never understand Chad. We know that Chad had a constitutional coup. So the president is a military junta. We also know that Chad is a loyal partner to France. We know that when the French troops were chased out of Niger, they went to Chad. And we know that they have more than 13,000 or 15,000 French troops in that country. So we also saw the president, Mahamat Debi, going to Russia to create good relationship with Russia, and we asked ourselves questions because we know that when it comes to France, they don't want you to have a cooperation with Russia. So it's confusing. And this year they are having an election, I think in a month or so. And we saw today the Chad government, military junta, suspending US military activities with immediate effect. Like you have to stop like today. But let's start yesterday. So yesterday, the regime threatened to expel American troops. The Chadian government sent a letter to the US defense attaché last week threatening to cancel an agreement regarding the United States military presence in Chad. CNN reported yesterday, the Chad threatened to end the status of forces agreement, that is the SOFA, which I think Museveni refused, with the United States, which governs how the US military forces can operate in the country. The letter ordered the United States to remove personnel from the French base in Germany, although it did not explicitly demand the US military to leave Chad. So a US official reportedly said that there are fewer than 100 US troops in Chad, and while Chad did not send a letter through official diplomatic channels, that could be a negotiating tactic by Chad to secure a better agreement. So they threatened the US that we are going to end the military cooperation. But today we saw them sending a letter suspending all military activities in Chad. An air of diplomatic tension hangs over relations between the United States and the Chadian government. A note from General Amin Idris, Army Chief of the Staff, ordered the immediate suspension of the activities of the American military detachment at the Aji Kosei Air Base. This announcement, made in a note, as you can see on the screen, addressed the Minister of Defense, raises questions about the underlying motivations. General Idris justifies this measure by the lack of legal framework governing the presence of American Special Forces active in the country for 5 years. I think it's like the way Niger was talking about. Like it's like they just got a not verbal, saying we will be staying in your country, we have military activities, we'll do this, but it was not done properly or using the right channels. So I think that's what Chad is avoiding. So they are saying that it appears that the junta is seeking to negotiate a new agreement more beneficial to its interests. We don't know what is happening, but wow, what do you think?
I think it's the same thing that was happening in Niger. The fact that these guys just come, it's like they own the space that they are. You don't ask questions, you don't find out what they are doing there. You just keep quiet. If you see airplanes moving in and out, it's none of your business. Yeah. So it's probably the same thing that Chad has realized and said, nah, we can't have this kind of agreement. But for me, Chad is still not in my favorite books. Because one, they still have the French influence, and until you get rid of all of these powers that are controlling you and governing you, and you are just forced to live by the French rules, then whatever tactics you try to remove US or anybody else, apart from removing France, is just a useless move. Well, it might help them because the US, we know how they bullied Niger. this might help them to also get some space, between them and the
remember,
US.
they are just 100 and they are stationed in the same military base with French.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. You'll probably find that the missions are the same. Whatever they are doing,
I think they just like the article is saying, they are looking to get a better negotiation, like a better deal with the US. Like we don't have a better deal with you. We don't know what you are doing, but this is what we
But
want.
why not France and US? Because they are in the same space,
of course
doing the same thing. They both know each other's moves, and then you are only selecting one. Maybe France said, we no longer want to work with these guys.
Yeah.
Do something about it. Chase them out of the military base. We want to remain here alone. You never know, because why not the other one if you're chasing out the same person who's living with this person in the same military base?
They want to, like the article is saying, they are trying to get a better deal from
With
the
only
US.
US. So with France,
so probably
they
they have a better deal with France, because after the constitutional coup, who supported the current president? France. Who
it
we
can
say,
never be a better deal if it's betrayal to the Chadians.
who sanitizes this guy?
France.
French. So we don't know, but elections are coming. We're hoping all the best to Chad. We're hoping that you get a better deal in all ways, in leadership, in all that. So guys, let us know what you think about this. What do you think about Chad? It's a country that doesn't have a lot of things. Like, we don't know a lot
Chad
about
is full of
Chad.
confusion, I'd say.
Like, we don't know a lot about Chad, except for that. We don't know what is happening, but all the best to Chadians and the Africa. May Africa win.
See you in the next one.
Bye bye.